Alright, so now we're back in Aerospace 2 again. It's been a while, but we're back into it and I'm pretty stoked. We are going to be back with our Striker today. This is what we just recently, well, actually it's been a couple weeks now, but we recently got this to Legendary now. And we were working on a build with it, but it wasn't really working. So I decided to change up the whole build, pretty much. Keeping kind of the same origin of what I wanted to start with, which mainly was close quarter combat and super powerful armor and stuff like that. We'll say damage reduction, really based around that. We finally hit a good point where I realized I don't use sets that much. Now, like in most games, there is items that are called set pieces. So pretty much a set's going to be, 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, depending on the game. I know Diablo 4, Division 2, plenty of RPG games have this kind of mechanic in them, where once you have the entire set, or at least parts of the set, you actually can get additional attributes, which is really cool. So what we are rocking right now is our Stormchaser Striker. Stormchaser Set gives you 25% increased energy orb drop chance, 4% increased damage reflection for 20 seconds when collecting an energy orb to a max of 40%, and all enemies within 800 meters of range take reflected damage. This is really good for our ship because we are going to be mainly in very close quarters with the enemy ships. One of the big things with this ship was we are rocking the scatter gun, which is like your shotgun. And we actually have this really nice attribute here where we get additional 20% increased damage with our scatter gun. So having our whirlwind, our tailwind, I don't know how to pronounce that. Just read it there, that big word there. And then our multi-cell gave us the Stormchaser set, which is actually a really good set to have. We also are rocking with our bulkhead, which is a big part of this build, having the 30% damage reduction from the frontal attacks. We have escort duty set, which is pretty good. I can't quite get the third because of, I think the escort duty has a shield as well to actually get the sec piece, and I can't get that with this, so it's kind of a bummer. But I want that actual all enemies within 800 meters range take reflect damage. If I didn't need that, I could rock both these sets, but I'm like, it just doesn't quite work out as well. It may be something we change later, but I think for now I'm happy with it. I don't really need that armor really, but this is super fun. We also have Secure Hold, which is the other set of the escort duty. So we get the 25% resistance attribute, which you can see here increases hull damage reduction and debuff duration reduction. So if we get hit by a web missile, which pretty much gets you stuck in one place, it won't affect us for as long with having these items on us, which is super good. So I think what we're going to do, we also hit, I finally have done a Rift, and it was pretty fun. It's definitely more endgame content. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's new endgame content, which we will talk about in another video probably later on. I'm very excited about that too, but I gotta figure out how it works first. But what I actually did, I finally beat the game a while ago, and I finally took on a Rift, which is pretty much a dungeon to some degree in space. Space dungeon, we'll call it, and you pretty much go through different waves of enemies to some degree. And each wave you go through will actually have a certain attribute added to that level. I believe it's 4 levels. You have 1, 2, 3, and then the boss fight. I think it may be 2 and then 3rd's the boss. I don't remember right now, but it's super fun. It's a great way to get really good gear, and you can get legendaries a lot easier, even in normal, which is super nice. But one thing you do, once you do your first Rift, you will unlock, let's see, there it is. Anything else happened new? It's just Kayit. So if you see these little diamond shapes, you have these ancient incursions. Now this is a really, really cool event that happens. Once you do your first Rift, you will unlock this kind of extra mission. This is a great way to get really good gear, especially if you're trying to look for a certain set. For instance, our set that we have on this ship, the Stormchaser, you can get that over in Zarkov. Any mission, anything you do, you have a higher chance to get Stormchaser here. That's just kind of where it's from. If you want escort duty, you're going to want to be in the Union. So having these ancient incursions is a great way to get a bunch of items. And there is a cool thing that we will show. We're going to run one of these, and as you can see here, we have these will go away after some time, but you'll always have 2 available at all times, which is super cool. But if you don't get to it in time, you will lose it and it'll reset. So if you really want a certain incursion in one area, you'll want to actually make sure you get there as quick as possible. Notably, if you get to there and you get into it, you don't have to worry about, there's no minutes or anything. You can just fight as long as you want if you're doing like a higher level one. So as you can see here, there is, I believe, I haven't seen easy yet, but I'm pretty sure it's easy threat level, medium, or moderate. High is going to be your 3rd level, and then there's extreme. Extreme is brutal. It's really hard, but it's actually super fun too. I would recommend going with a really good build, but understand it will take you some time to take it out, so don't get too hard on yourself when it happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to Kayit Nebula, and we're going to actually check out one of these areas here. Again, we are playing the 3rd level, so it's going to be a little more challenging, but I think our ship's going to do pretty good, and I'm pretty excited. One thing I also wanted to note was, we made a video about it recently, we recently got supporter packs on Xbox for Aerospace 2, which is really cool. Which allows you to colorize all different parts of your ship. And this is what you have available now, which is super cool. We are right now rocking this one here. It has this little like strip in the middle here. I just kind of like it. It's quaint. It's not too crazy. It fits well with the actual build. I feel like I really want to be able to get rid of this silver. Rockfish, if we could actually find a way to actually color these, that would be sick. So please, if you ever hear this video, which you probably won't, I would love to see that happen eventually, but that's all good. I'm happy with what we got, and it's really cool. So we're also rocking the engine effects too. We have flame for our boost, and we got some cool, I don't even know what we want to call it, but it looks really cool and I like it. It's kind of it's not crazy, it's pretty chill. Let's head on over to Kite Nebula and we will check out that area. Alright, so we're in the Kite Nebula and I actually ran into another one. This is extreme. We're not going to do this one because that's really hard. I don't know if, well, this build could do it, but it's going to take a long time and I don't want to take too much time. So we're actually going to jump out of here. Alright, so we are in a location where there is a single beacon because this is a moderate area. So this is I think this might be actually the lowest you can get. So your main object is, you see how there's a shield here on the upper right, or actually, yeah, like upper right hand corner. It's the Ancient Beacon 1, shield 100%. So you're going to see enemies that have almost like this little like highlighting that out, the drone carrier there actually has it, that purple tone on it. Once you take those out, that will actually take the shield away, and then your object is just hammer that beacon as hard as you can, and you want to break it. Once you break it, you will unlock some pretty cool stuff. So let's head in the fight. Let's take care of it. Use my scatter gun, do a lot of damage. Send out my little. It's down. You see here the shield is going down heavily. Shield's at 42% currently. Take care of the sniper drone here. The other cool thing is when you do these missions, you'll actually have multiple enemies come out here. Oh, look at that Alex coming in here to help too. That's awesome. You can see here, I cannot do damage to the shield currently, or this beacon, because there is this purple aura around it, which is pretty much its own. That's its actual shield. So as I start taking these enemies out, like this guy here I want to take out, switch over to mine here. Okay, let's hit this guy. Just over here. Alright, now the beacon is actually damage one now, so I'm going to hammer it as hard as I can here. Switch my scatter gun. Do a lot of damage. I think we actually have it. Oh, we just missed it. That's alright. Not a big deal. We weren't getting enough damage in place. The only issue with the scatter gun is you can't shoot it really quickly. Even though it's really powerful, you got to be kind of careful how you're using it. This target's down. Shield's almost out. We just got to keep hammering its enemies. It's down. Not worried about that base right now. Shield's out. Should be able to take it out now. My shotgun. There it is. Target is eliminated. Now again, that was a moderate one, so that's very way easier. As you get to higher, so if you do a high level one, you actually will get 2 beacons. If you do extreme, you get 3 beacons. But every time it goes up in difficulty, the enemies will get stronger. So it definitely can be a little challenging, and there's gonna be a lot more of them too. So let's head in, take our loot. Grab all of that, and you're gonna see something kind of different here. It should pop up here on the right. So you see this Requiem, I think it's called. This is a really cool thing to have. Before we check that out, we're actually gonna go over to our red here. It's pretty typical. I'm just gonna scrap that out. We don't really need that. One thing I have been doing, because I want to make a lot more money, I've been selling items instead of break them down. I don't really need the parts anymore. Unless it's like legendary or red, I do need those. But other than this blue stuff, I don't care. I just sell it because it's easier for me. Now, this is really cool. When you do these beacon missions, or ancient incursions, as you can see here, we have one here. This is the extreme. That's going to take me a while, and it's going to be kind of hard to do. We could check it out, though. When you do these missions, you will get a Requiem. I think I might be saying that wrong. But you get this item here. Now, as you can see here, required lunacy is 100, and loot quality bonuses plus 100%. Now, you'll also see down here, blessing. Resolve drain is reduced by 50%. When you get these, they will be something you can use in the rifts. Now, we're going to head back to my base, and I'm going to show you the rifts and show you how this works. You can get some pretty cool blessings, especially, I have to assume there's probably high-level ones, too, that, like, give you multiple blessings. It makes doing the rifts a little easier, and also it can give you, like, as it says here, a higher loot bonus, which is huge. You want that. So let's head back to our base, and I will explain further. And actually, you know, it's funny, we're going to run into this ancient incursion. We're going to run into this incursion. So as you can see here, this is an extreme one, an extreme ancient incursion. As you see here, there's 3 different beacons, and there's a lot more enemies too. We're not going to do this because it's taking a long time, and I don't want to waste too much of your time. So we're going to actually head back to our base, and I can show you what the actual rooms do. So we're going to head back down here. I'm going to fully ignore all this and head down here. And then we will head back to base. Now it's my turn. Alright, so we are back at home base now, and we're going to head over to our spatial bypass. And as you see here, we have activate, which can allow you to pass fast travel, and then create ancient rift. Do that, and this is where your Requiem is going to come in handy. So as you see here, I have this one here, so if I click that, it's going to give me this here. And now what I can do is I can increase my things if I want to. I don't have to, but I can if I want to. Which actually, we might be able to do one real quick. This would be really easy. We could just do that to show it off. The one thing you want to keep in mind too, with these Requiems, you have to have a minimum of lunacy. Lunacy is going to be kind of the difficulty marker. As you can see here, I have quite a few in here. Yeah, I have a lot. As you can see here, depending on what you have, for instance, yeah, this is a great example. These are some pretty high levels, so you need required lunacy is 500. You get 531% loot quality, which is insane. You're almost guaranteed a legendary without a problem, maybe 2. You also have these areas here. 2 blessings. Resolve strain is reduced by 50%. Area contains energies for restore fields, repair fields, and damage buff fields. That's pretty good, but again, lunacy 500 is actually really not easy. You also have this one here, which is 600, and then 727 loot quality, which is absolutely outrageous, but really cool. And you have the blessings here that are 2. You have infinite weapon energy and purge. And it keeps going and going. This is 700. Again, 800%. Enemies within 500 meters are slowed down. Incoming damage has a 10% chance to ignore and restore shield and armor, which is pretty cool. But again, that's going to be really hard as well. This is the normal one. Enemies are 1 level below you, which I honestly want to do that one real quick. And actually, I will say this one here, the infinite power is actually super nice. But this is the thing, so you have to have a required lunacy to actually unlock. These are kind of like loot boxes to some degree, and you actually have to complete that rift to actually unlock that. So we're going to actually run a rift real quick. And like I said, we're going to actually add in this one here. And we already have the requirement, but I'm going to go to 200. Sorry, I'm going to go to 100 because honestly, I'm not too worried about it. And it's going to teleport us. Head right in. Alright, so as you can see here, we don't have any negative effects currently, which is super nice. We're gonna hop in here and take out some targets. This is definitely going to be the easier side, which won't be too bad. As you can see here, you get Tears of Mad, which is going to be a currency use for your actual rifts. Let's take out this barrier here. MP and my as you can see here, resolve 86, aggression 27. So you want to try and beat this completely in the time you're given.
Another one off.
Almost done here. This level. So we completed that stage there. Now what will happen is it'll open up another gate. Actually open up multiple gates, and you get to pick what you want to actually do. So for instance, we have every time an enemy is destroyed, all the enemies present are repaired by 20% to their maximum of whole hit points. We also have another one. Okay, same deal. So you will get these certain items. Actually, one's 50, one's 25. And with these, they will give you additional loot quality. One thing I didn't note before is whatever you have in here is stuck. So I currently have healing, shield, and weapon damage. So I think because of this, I'm not really too worried about this. I'm going to head over. Oh, hold up, actually. Gain 5% speed. Actually, yeah, let's do it. I think we'll be alright. Let's see, alright, do 3 of these stages, and then you get to the boss stage, and then you have to try and take out the boss. And every stage will increase the difficulty with certain attributes. Sometimes they will help you, sometimes they won't. Most of the time they won't help you, I'm pretty sure. So, just something to keep in mind. Actually taking a lot of damage right there. That's not good. almost done. A couple more enemies, we should have that secured. Other thing to note too is if you run out of ammo with your explosives, you will not get them back. That's just how it is. So you definitely have to take that in consideration as well. All right, so we got enemies deal area damage upon death. Okay, not too bad. Enemies take some less damage beyond. Okay, yeah, no, we're definitely gonna do this. This is not increasing the difficulty, it's just adding on an extra layer, which doesn't really affect me too much. It's actually probably better for me because I can do more damage. I definitely used too many of my mines before. That was not great. We're at 75% right now. Doing pretty good so far. Switch to my pulse cannon here. Or pulse laser, I believe it is. That goes down. You just took there. Alright, that's done. Alright, next wave is going to be the boss fight. And whenever you do the boss fight, you will instantly get you're just given one, so let's see. Okay, so periodically teleports to a random location, starts repairing it until it takes damage again. This is an interesting fight, but it's totally doable. It's going to be a little hard because I don't have the ability to get in there quickly. I could actually, I don't know if I can, but I might be able to switch out one of my abilities to teleport quicker. Let's see, can I do that? Probably not. Let's see. Oh, no, blocked. All good. We're going to head in here, and I'm actually going to pop this here. A lot of damage to him, which is good. He hasn't teleported yet, which is really good. If I can just take him out immediately, that'd be huge. He might not teleport. Just teleported, you gotta be kidding me. Let's keep getting that damage on there. Nice, he's down. Alright. Alright. That is the boss down. It's going to teleport me to a different location. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all this loot. Plenty of it. And then I will show you the case here. So, we just got a bunch of stuff here. Another thing to note too, if you are in, that's really good, whatever location you are in will have the dedicated drops too. So that's a nice way if you want to get a certain set piece. I recommend doing rifts because you can actually get them quite a higher chance to get a bunch of them in like a quick succession. So see here, we got a bunch of stuff here. Again, gonna sell it all because I don't really need it. This one I'm actually gonna scrap. Actually, I might store that. Good for a future build. Nothing too crazy here. Now this is the big thing. So now that we completed the mission, we didn't fail any stages, we are able to open this loot box, which is a Requiem. Now you have a high chance to get a legendary in these. Again, I did a low level one, so I highly doubt I will, but let's find out. I got a legendary. Okay, cool. We got an SH8495. Has no capacity itself, but grants a charge of ionized carapace for each enemy within 600 meters, providing 8% chance to completely ignore incoming damage. Stacks up to 6 times. Wow, that's crazy. That's really cool. We also have a Shield XC, not too bad, and Pulse Lever. This is actually really cool. Grab all this, and we have completed a rift with our striker. This is a great way, and again, that was a low level one too, and we still got a legendary, which is a really interesting legendary. I've actually seen a build with this. Someone literally took on a high level rift and had this build, like no armor, no nothing. Just, it was crazy. It was no shields. But they built it perfectly, and it was really, really cool. So we're going to store that in our... because we don't need that. I'm also going to scrap this out. I don't need that either. There it is. That is a Ancient Incursion and the Rifts. And this is the Striker with the Stormchaser and Escort Duty set piece on. This is super fun. I actually like to build a lot. It is so powerful. And as you saw, I still struggle with that. It was not easy, but we did it, which is really cool. I hope this was fun. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. And I've had a lot. I posted videos, and people have like taught me stuff. So throw comments in the bottom. If I can't answer, someone else might. And if I can answer, I will try and answer for you. I might even go look some stuff up, whatever may be the case. But I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.